r/AskReddit, what movie do you think was ruined by a sex scene? Wasn't a fan of Batman banging Batgirl in Killing Joke. I figured it was gonna be referenced again later, but they never actually put in a reason for it to be there. Especially when you remember they had been running around in tight leather suits. Especially since it's not in the original comic by Moore. It had no reason to be in there. They had all the bases loaded for the best Batman adaptation of all time and somehow still blew it. There's this retelling of Hansel and Gretel where the two kids survive the witch and vow to become witch hunters and keep the people safe. Then Hansel has sex with the witch. Hansel. So hot right now. The one with Hawkeye as Hansel? That movie was entertaining, I liked it. Just rewatched that movie recently. It's silly, but fun. I was really worried where that was going until the last sentence. Beowulf. He was supposed to kill the monster, not fuck it? Well, it definitely wasn't MacGruber. That scene where he was slamming the ghost of his wife in the graveyard was solid gold. Or Team America. The scene where MacGruber looks at the bomb to disarm it and just goes, "What the fuck is this?" is forever etched into my memory. Link. I'm gonna shoot. Just tell me what you want me to feel, okay? Fassbender, dead at the age of who the fuck cares. Pretty much every action movie from the 90s had a random sex scene. Like we're supposed to believe two people on the run for their lives are going to stop and fuck. It was essential for every 80s and 90s movie to have boobs. There would be a fight scene in a hotel and they always fight through a room where people were having sex. But, in Terminator, it was essential to the plot. You said 90s, but your comment reminded me of Terminator. They were literally on the run for their lives and stopped to fuck, lol. In his defense, the monster was Angelina Jolie. Not a movie but just about any Stephen King novel. He had sex when it's most definitely not needed at all. You're talking about IT, aren't you? You try writing a book in the middle of a coke bender and not putting a child gangbang scene in there. On the opposite side, that's the reason A Few Good Men is forever in my personal top 10. Tom Cruise and Demi Moore go out to dinner and it's totally professional and gives some great insight into the characters without using sex at all. It's a rough AskReddit prompt when a top 10 comment goes fuck I don't know, but Tom and Demi are fire without the smashing. Pretty much any movie while I'm watching it with family. I wouldn't mind so much when I'm watching alone. But once one comes on with the family watching as well, it feels so awkward. Whisper fuck yeah aggressively to make it less awkward. Splice. Shudder. He basically fucked his kid. The story started with sex, then the impetus for the rogue experiment was sex, change, so obviously the climax, haha, would also be sex. I don't know if it ruined the movie, but it definitely gave it another dimension. Not a movie, but the Halo show did not need the Master Chief to get laid. Is that where the Mewtwo looking thing was created? Top Gun, watching Tom Cruise and Kelly McGillis going at it with zero chemistry. Watched it in 3D at an IMAX once, no one needs to see a 6-foot Tom Cruise tongue wandering across the screen. I prefer the Hot Shots parody of that scene. Charlie Sheen knows how to cook a good breakfast. Fury was saved by having a sex scene without showing it. The sex scene / implication of sex in Fury is how it should be done. It was actually very important to the story. They could have shown more, but it was unnecessary as nothing interesting during their copulation happened other than the copulation itself being used as a tool to turn him into a killer. I went in thinking it was just a run-of-the-mill action film. The movie turned out to be a masterpiece of cinematography and storytelling, in my opinion. The Room. I get the whole movie is fascinatingly bad, but I could do without seeing Tommy Wiseau's arse for minutes on end. I still don't know if he even knew how to sex at a lady. Looked like he was boning her sternum. Any movie I unwittingly watched with my parents. Feliday. 11-year-old me did not have to see that, ever. I'm in my 20s now. Jesus Christ, you've unearthed some memories. That entire movie was insane, cat sex or no cat sex. Master Cheeks. Not ruined but wasn't needed at all. The sex scene in Batman the Killing Joke. Monsters Ball, Halle Berry kinda ruined the flow for the movie for me when I found myself rewinding for some reason. Make me feel good. Pirates. That was a sick movie. Don't know why it had so many forced sex scenes though. Are you talking about the porn movie Pirates that had a non-porn version at Blockbuster? Not ruined, but it's just so out of place. The ghost giving Ray a BJ in Ghostbusters. Complete with crossed eyes. That scene flew right over my head as a kid. I watched it with my kids recently and just realized what was actually happening. I don't know about everybody else, but that scene in The Lion King sure was uncomfortable as hell as a kid. I don't think the scene itself was nearly as uncomfortable as the simple fact that my sexual awakening started with me wanting to bang an animated lioness. Or maybe the fact that they were probably half-siblings. Take your pick. It still makes me uncomfortable as an adult, and my kids want to watch it all the time. Nala didn't need to make her eyes like that. This is new information I didn't need to know, but hilarious now knowing it. Did the memory get suppressed by a trauma response? I don't remember this. Not exactly ruined, because it was already crap, but the Eternals. The tone of the film was really family friendly, so the sex scene was just really jarring and out of place. Also, they're robots, so why would they even want sex? I went with a whole group of kids. They made a whole brouhaha about the gay couple in the movie, which was perfectly fine and just amounted to a peck on lips that was nothing. Meanwhile, the straight sex scene, all the kids covered their eyes. Felt really out of place and unnecessary. The brown bunny and the fact it was a real sex scene. The dust-up between him and Roger Ebert is legendary. After Gallo called him a fat pig, Ebert replied, "I will one day be thin, but Vincent Gallo will always be the director of the Brown Bunny." Link. The scene in Get Him to the Greek with the almost threesome was weird and out of place. Funny up until that. Batman the Killing Joke. Bruce Timm is a huge fan of the Bruce/Barbara ship. Frankly, I don't know why this girl is old enough to be his daughter. Rene Declarer. Funny movie for the entire family. And then at the very end, bam. The Killing Joke. Was already pretty mid though. Counterpoint, something has to happen in the show. Probably the Garfield movie. That scene was really unnecessary, my eyes hurt just thinking about it. Underworld. When the characters started kissing, it was so jarring the whole theater laughed. Cold Mountain. What was implicit in the book became explicit in the movie. Totally ruined it for me. All movies that aren't romance. I don't want to watch Saw just to see two people going all oh yeah, give it to me daddy. Watchmen. I'm not sure if the scene itself was the worst part or the fact that it was set to the original Leonard Cohen version of Hallelujah. I dunno, I felt it was appropriate. It was the only time in the entire story that two characters felt happy. It was also awkward, but then again, so is Night Owl. My brother described the whole soundtrack to that movie as just setting your iPod to shuffle all and pushing play. Splice. Like what the actual fuck? It's the whole point of the film. It's literally don't put your dick in that, the movie. My best friend took a boy to that movie as their first date in high school. He never spoke to her again. It should have been me. Not some alien spy. Oppenheimer LOL. Reading the Bhagavad Gita while laying pipe was cringy AF. It is so much worse than just a sex scene. Makey was technically a prisoner of war. Cows can't consent to sex, per the Geneva Convention. Chief committed statutory rape and a war crime.
Hey guys, it's Reddit Glitch. Thanks for watching to the end of the video. I just wanted to ask you guys to hit the subscribe button because according to my statistics, 98.8% of my viewers are not subscribed, which I think you should subscribe because it's free and we're going to have a lot more bangers in the future, so subscribe. Again, thanks for watching. Bye.